Quick question for you. Would you be interested in collective readings? Sometimes I'll post some things on the community tab that I get. Other things I'll just write down. And I had written down a few things a couple weeks ago. The first one being that I felt that cold cases would start to be solved. And as a lot of you know, they made an arrest in the Delphi murders. The two young girls that were murdered in Indiana a few years ago, they made an arrest in that case. And as of 2 days ago, they announced the name of the boy in the box. See, that case, that was one that really, really got to me for some reason. You've probably heard of the story. There was a little boy found in 1957 who was never identified. They called him the boy in the box. He was found in a box, passed away. Nobody came forward. There was no missing persons that matched his identity. And for 65 years, nobody's been able to figure out who this boy was or what happened to him or anything. And as of 2 days ago, literally, they announced that they had identified the boy as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. So it got me thinking maybe I should start doing some collective readings and sharing some things I get psychically. Would that be something that you guys would watch? So along with that, I'm also getting that what that links to is this has to do a lot with timelines. As a lot of people start to go into their natural timeline, which is what's occurring to a lot of people now, a lot of the false timelines are going to fall away. So a lot of truths are going to be revealed. And for some reason, I felt that this would include missing persons cases and cold cases. I didn't know how it would connect, but I just felt it would. But I think you will continue to see truths being exposed in your environment. That happened a lot in 2022 in general. I did say in either December 2021 or January 2022 that there would be no room for masks in 2022. And that has been the case. If you just look back, I mean, one of the most obvious examples would be like the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial. Someone who, had gotten away with basically hiding their identity and painting a certain picture for years was finally being exposed. That sort of mirrored a court case in my life. So there could have been also some people in your life that were finally exposed for who they were, basically who outed themselves by their own actions. That's still going to be happening. The masks are going to continue to fall off. I would say expect the unexpected. I just heard that. Also, I think this is a good time for manifesting miracles, actually. I've been seeing that word a lot. And again, I think it has a lot to do with releasing these overlays or these false, unnatural timelines that have been attached to us, or these programs, however you want to word it, however you want to look at it. As those start to fall away, you align with what is meant for you. It could be drastic, but it doesn't have to be like a negative drastic. It could be a miraculous drastic. I do think if you pay attention to your dreams, that you can notice yourself playing out some of these timelines, shutting them down, basically. So maybe you think back to some of your dreams that you've had. I want to say that if you're getting a lot of readings about your ancestors wanting to communicate with you, in a lot of cases, you are your ancestors. I've heard a few people say that we reincarnate through our bloodline. And one of my gifts is being able to discern truth. And I haven't gotten I don't feel that's false. And actually, I think that when your ancestors want to communicate with you, those are your past life versions of yourself through your ancestry. Those are aspects of yourself that want to realign with you to help you. Those are soul lessons that you've forgotten, which is a lot to do with this reading, actually. So let's see. Also, I think As far as like manifestation goes and finding your natural timeline, I think how you're going to do that is going to be through your heart. Okay, so you don't need to come to me. You don't need to go to anybody else. Just connect with your heart. I still think that sound is important. Speaking things into existence, using your voice, can help ground it into reality. Also still getting a lot of things with the earth, ley lines, like the magnetic, like the North and South Pole, something with that. Let's see. Something with the inner child or children speaking. I also heard a lyric from a song, and this lyric was, "Greet me with the eyes of a child." There's a lot been coming up with eyes as well. So there's a lot here about speaking and seeing through the eyes of a child. And that could be something to do with the heart chakra. I don't know if your heart is your inner child or if there's a difference there, but there's something with that. Or if we're birthing something new here. So that's what I have for the collective. So this video is going to be what aspects of yourself have been hidden or blocked. And I'm actually doing this on my bed. I have a tray here that I've covered with my shiny sequins. And yeah. So getting all comfy here, doing this on my bed. This is group 1, 2, 3, and 4. The timestamps will be in the description box below, as always. There will also be a timestamp for shuffling, because I did shuffle on camera. If you need a moment to pause to choose which group you want, go ahead and do so at this time. Otherwise, let's get started. Hey, for those of you who chose group 1, let's go ahead and dive in as mermaids do. If you skipped the intro, I do suggest you go back and watch it. I mentioned that I shuffled on camera. The timestamp for that will be in the description box. So I think this is going to go one of two ways. For some of you, you're going to hear something and it's just going to hit you. And you're going to immediately know that it's for you. It's going to immediately unlock something. For others of you, since we are talking about blocked or hidden aspects of yourself, it's not going to make sense to you right now. But something in here is going to be picked up by your subconscious. And that means you're not going to be consciously aware of it for some of you. And it's going to sort of loosen it up a little bit. This is probably not a great analogy, but it's like a tooth being loosened. And then eventually, a couple weeks later, it falls out. So this reading could knock a tooth loose for some of you in your subconscious. And here in the next couple weeks, you may see a few signs, a few synchronicities, hear a few things that sort of bring it up slowly from your subconscious. The tooth might fall out. Yeah, that's the best analogy I could come up with. Just go along with it. So, there's not many cards here. I will probably get some things from the mermaid box. But I did channel a bit. For those of you who are subscribed to me and have looked at anything on my community tab, I'm still not able to fully channel like I used to as far as clairvoyance goes. I can't see the symbols and numbers and words like I used to. A new color did come up. I do see things in purple now. And some words and things are starting to try to show up. But I get, like for these messages actually, I didn't get them in the traditional way. My other abilities somehow have increased dramatically. And that's where this information came from. So let's begin. The first thing I saw for you was eagle. I've gotten this before. Birds in general are messengers. They see from a higher perspective. I get ancestral energy from the eagle. Then we have mountain, protection, decision, family, distant or distance, heralds, So a herald is a messenger or a sign. Like heralds of change would be signs of change. Horizon, so that's going to be like where the earth meets the sky, or where the sea meets the sky. The horizon line, I guess you could say. And I was also getting the number 12 for you. So with these aspects that have been blocked or hidden, I did say in the collective that I feel we reincarnate through our bloodline, that we are our own ancestors in many cases. And that seems to be showing up here. I do think this is something from a past life of yours, or some sort of lineage in the family, something to do with the family line. Some sort of difficult decision, and something to do with travel after a change. But when I tried to tune in specifically to past lives, I got isolation, female for a majority of you. I specifically got the name Ruth. And I don't think that happened for another group, actually, getting a name. I looked up the meaning for the name Ruth, and it means, I think, a compassionate friend. I also got that I feel like you will meet this aspect of yourself soon. So I don't know if that means it's going to be something mirrored in your environment that reminds you of it, or if you're going to learn of a past life that you had, or something in your childhood that happened that you're going to be reminded of. But you will meet this aspect of yourself soon. So the isolation sort of confirmed to me that there was some sort of distance that happened. So I went a little bit further here. I've gotten biblical names before, and it turns out, usually it goes along with the reading, the story in the Bible. So I went ahead and looked into the story of Ruth, and she was a widow, and she was, I think it said she was childless as well when she became a widow, and she ended up traveling with her mother-in-law. So she was very loyal, and she was renowned for being so loyal to her mother-in-law. So she ended up meeting Boaz, and he ended up being like the family redeemer. So he ended up marrying her and basically redeeming her, preventing her from becoming a slave. So he was sort of the hero. But that bloodline was the bloodline for, King David, Solomon, Yeshua. So the tribe of Judah, so, and there's 12 tribes. So that could be something here. You could have lost a partner or a child and had to move, or, they had to move, like they had to go off to war or something, to distant horizons. There was like a separation or isolation, like a tough decision. See, I don't think Ruth loved Bo. I don't know if she loved him or not. I'm guessing, like, I didn't get too in depth in the research to that story, but I'm guessing like she married him for security. I mean, he did save her from becoming a slave, essentially, and protected her. She had to travel a long distance as well. So let's see what you got as far as the cards go. You have Mars, and it says, your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit. Aries, the energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading, impulsive action is likely. I'm just going to not flip over anymore right now and focus on these two because they're very similar. Mars is Aries. It's the ruler of Aries. And we're focusing on what has been blocked or hidden. Your fighting spirit Why has your fighting spirit been blocked? This is the energy of somebody who has no fight left. Who feels they have no fight left. I'm being corrected. They've just given up. They're just really tired. Maybe there was a lot of fighting in the past or past life. They've seen enough of it, basically. And for others, they've had to fight a lot and are running low on the energy to continue it. Both of these are war cards. I mean, like I say, protection, distance. It could have been something to do with a war for some of you. I mean, you could have been the person who was at home, right? And someone went off and to a war and ended up passing away. Or you could have been the one that left your family and then you ended up passing away before you could, Now, if we relate it to your life now, I wonder if some of you have Mars in retrograde in your natal chart. I know that I do. And that can mean that in your past life that you either were enslaved or forced to do bad things to people against your will. That makes me think of like being forced to be in a war that you didn't agree with or something. But are you ashamed of being... how do I word this? Are you afraid of showing your anger for some of you? Like, if you were the person who died in a war in a past life, for example, you might be afraid to show your anger now. That may be uncomfortable for you. You may not like fighting. And that fell. So we also have the second house. That's going to be Taurus's natural house. Your assets, finances, and things you value. So this is going to be what's blocked. So some of you are going to have issues now with either, of course, this is going to be issues with your finances or your stability. Or this is going to be issues with how you feel about yourself. How you value yourself. You may feel guilty for you may live a simple life because you feel like anything extravagant is, you may think money or anything that costs a lot of money or anything lavish is evil, for example. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then we have, I think both of these might have been in reverse, but we have intruder, service, and helper. We also have good lady, and the dog is what stuck out to me. And then we have bereavement, and number 19 stuck out to me immediately. And then the birds. So I don't think numbers on these Kipper cards have ever stuck out to me, so I would pay attention to number 19. But remember Ruth. She was a widow. So let's see. I mean, this would coincide with the situation of somebody passing away, either being, like in Ruth's situation, her husband, or if you had a husband that went off to war, or if you were the person that went off to war. There's something in here with money, though. There's some kind of money guilt. I see it here with the second house, good lady, and service and helper. There could have been some sort of intruder on the land, or that could have been what ignited the war. The dog, I said, stuck out to me. That represents loyalty, and that's what Ruth was known for. Being of service, being a helper, being loyal. Who's the intruder? Who's the intruder? Where did I just put that? So, okay. I was getting some sort of energy about someone being falsely accused of something, and someone, like maybe someone of the help being accused of something. It was intruder in reverse. Did they falsely accuse somebody of something? Oh, there it is. Maybe you were falsely accused of something. That ancestor energy again. I wonder if this was some sort of... Because we have mystic ancestor, service helper, innocent, intruder in reverse, good lady. So you could have been killed for your beliefs. Maybe you were a mystic, or your ancestor was, or like I say, you are your ancestors in some situations. That could have been what it was. You were isolated. Heralds are messengers, and they are harbingers. Maybe you were forced away from your family. Like accused of being a witch or something, or a heretic, or some sort of thing like that. Something taboo. And we have religious on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you've had to portray a certain image. Or maybe all of your, like, through your ancestral line, have had to, hide their mystic abilities or their mystic tendencies. Had to suppress it for, fear of being persecuted. Trying to fit in with society. And it all stems from a death that happened, it seems. Messages from the mermaid box. Okay. Alright. 2 of these. 3 of these. 3 spirit animals. 1 Bible verse. 2 of these. And 2 messages from your higher self. We'll start with the spirit animals. Alright. Oh my gosh. Eagle. When eagle swoops in as your spirit animal, it's time to hold your head high. Eagle as a totem animal is for those who speak directly to spirit. Heralds. Eagle as a totem animal... Wait, I already said that. Invoke eagle as your power animal when you need a higher perspective. Another bird. Blue jay. When blue jay flits in as your spirit animal, it's time to discover our true self. Time to discover our true self. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. Blue jay as a totem animal belongs to those who make lifetime commitments. Invoke blue jay as your power animal when you want passion in your life. And that's kind of what is being suppressed, it looks like. The fire. And then crab. When crab skitters in as your spirit animal, it's time to change course and head in a new direction. Crab, as a totem animal, belongs to those who can easily go with the flow. Call in crab as your power animal when you need help releasing pent-up emotions. We'll do these. Soul recognition. That's what we talked about there. Betrayal. So you're going to figure out what that betrayal was, I guess. Alright, so messages from your higher self. Wait. LOL, no, but seriously, the grass is greener over there. Alright. When you express love and someone reacts with negativity, they're not operating from love. When you express love and someone reacts with negativity, they're not operating from love. And the Bible verse. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. It wasn't until I started editing that I realized the significance of the Bible verse that you got. You got Isaiah 54, and that goes along with your reading. So, like, I can't even right now. Like, you could knock me over with a feather at this point. So, the story with Ruth and her being a widow and not having a child at the point when she became a widow, and then to get mountain and all of this, and the number 12, we talked about the 12 tribes, and to get Isaiah 54. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you the rest of the chapter. You got 54:17. So I'll read you 1 through 16 really quick. Sing, O barren woman, you who never bore a child. Burst into song, shout for joy, you who were never in labor, because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband, says the Lord. Enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords. Strengthen your stakes, for you will spread out to the right and to the left. Your descendants will dispossess nations and settle in their desolate cities. Do not be afraid. You will not suffer shame. Do not fear disgrace. You will not be humiliated. You will forget the shame of your youth, and remember no more the reproach of your widowhood. For your Maker is your husband. The Lord Almighty is his name. The Holy One of Israel is your Redeemer. Remember how Boaz was the family redeemer for Ruth? He is called the God of all the earth. So I think this is saying that you've been redeemed already. Maybe you forgot that, and it's time to remember that. Although this could have a bigger message that I'm not even fully grasping at this moment. Anyway, to continue. The Lord will call you back as if you were a wife deserted and distressed in spirit, a wife who married young, only to be rejected, says the Lord. For a brief moment I abandoned you, but with deep compassion I will bring you back. I'm reminded in this next part that you had Mars and Aries in your hidden aspects of yourself. So I find that interesting because next it says, In a surge of anger, I hid my face from you for a moment, but with everlasting kindness I will have compassion on you, says the Lord, your Redeemer. To me, this is like the days of Noah. I swore that the waters of Noah would never again cover the earth. So now I have sworn not to be angry with you, never to rebuke you again. Now, remember we had mountain in the channel, though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed. Yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed. Try to be quick. O afflicted city, lashed by storms and not comforted, I will build you with stones of turquoise, your foundations with sapphires. I will make your battlements of rubies, your gates of sparkling jewels, and all your walls of precious stones. All of your sons will be taught of the Lord, and great will be your children's peace. In righteousness you will be established. Tyranny will be far from you, and you will have nothing to fear. Terror will be far removed. It will not come near you. If anyone does attack you, it will not be my doing. Whoever attacks you will surrender to you. See, it is I who created the blacksmith, who fans the coals into flame and forges a weapon for its work. And it is I who created the destroyer to wreak havoc. And that is why you got Isaiah 54:17, which is, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. No weapon that is formed against you is going to prosper. So that is what I have for you. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment, anything like that. Really does help to circulate and support the channel. I do hope to see you next time. Take care and God bless. Hey, for those of you who chose group 2, let's go ahead and dive in as mermaids do. If you skipped the intro, I do recommend you going back and watching it. I mentioned that I shuffled on camera, and you can find that in the timestamps in the description box. So I think this is going to go either one of two ways. It's either going to trigger something in you immediately where you know that this is your group, or it's not going to resonate with you at all because we are dealing with an aspect of you that has been blocked or hidden, after all. But what it's going to do in that case, it's a bad analogy. I used it in the other group. It's going to loosen up something in your subconscious. And the analogy I used was like loosen a tooth. So it may not make sense right now, but in the next couple weeks, slowly it's going to get more and more loose. And eventually it's going to come up. And you're going to realize you're going to see things in your environment. You're going to see or hear something. Something from your subconscious is going to come up, and you're going to know what it is that was in here that was meant for you. I hope that makes sense. So, if you're a subscriber and you looked at any of my community posts, I mentioned that I'm still not able to channel clairvoyantly as clearly as I used to, but it's getting better. I have been seeing things with the color purple. Channeling for this reading, I didn't get the messages through clairvoyance. It's came up in other ways because my other abilities seem to have increased a lot. What I got for you was spring, waking up, journey, and I took that as journey of the soul, overarching, water, senses, allowance, in the context of allowing something to happen, allowing something to come to you. And I got the visual of you coming above water, like you come above water and you can finally take a deep breath. And I was getting the number 7 for you. So with those, I know this is aspects that, what you have blocked off, but for those it seems whatever it was, you're probably waking up to it. Maybe you've been on some sort of journey of the soul or some sort of shamanic journeying or something. Maybe you've you are coming into contact with your higher self. Your senses are awakening. You're allowing this to happen. So, some of you could have a spiritual awakening. You could have already had one and are having another one. As far as your aspects you've blocked off or hidden, I try to get specific with past lives. So for that, I was getting things about power dynamics, things about you, particularly from most of you being the one in power, and that you were ashamed of that. So that could be something that you have blocked off. How you were over dominant, didn't treat people the best, and had blocked that off from your memory. And that most of you were masculines in that past life. For a smaller percentage, you could be ashamed of the power dynamics, as in you let other people have power over you and that's what you're ashamed of. But like I say, for most of you, I'm getting that you were the dominant one. Okay, let's see. So I didn't get tarot for a couple groups, but for you I did. We'll start with these. Oh, and I intuitively picked even which cards to use for each group. So no group got the same cards. So you have the Mystic Martians cards. What's interesting is that you, like both of these sort of look the same. That stuck out to me first. We have 6 and 9 here. We have Grays, short, timid, misunderstood, shy, and then Arcturians, feeling safe, wisdom keepers, concern. So not only are they both short and sort of look the same, they're both similar in that, we have timid here, timid, shy, and then we have, feeling safe, concern. These are both tense sort of energies. Skittish, I want to say. There's something significant with that. So if you're like that way now, that ties into a past life. Now, some of you, that's going to be a part of you that you've shut down. You've shut down your timidness and your shyness. We also have a shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Alright, so your overall energy. Queen of Swords. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands with the star in reverse. Six of Wands. That's not too different than that cross I saw in a vision a couple videos ago. And then 3 of coins. So this isn't too different from what I channeled, because what I channeled was basically that you're waking up. And I know this video, like I say, is, things you've blocked. This tells me sort of the same thing. That maybe you've woken up to something. Maybe you've woken up out of the monotony of this world, how this world operates. For others of you, this could go much deeper than that. This could be, someone waking up to all the programming that has been placed on them and is basically questioning all of it. And sort of similar energy here to here. Moving forward with confidence to try to create something new, to build something new and different, but with caution. So the Queen of Swords she's very discerning. She will plan something and plan something and plan something before she executes it as well. You've been taken advantage of, and you're finding this out. To what extent is going to be different for each of you. For some of you, it's just going to be, I've realized that I've lived my life, doing the same thing every day, and I'm waking up, out of that. Like I say, for others of you, it's going to be a lot deeper than that, if you know what I mean. So, it's like you realize you've been lied to, and that you actually hold the power to create your own, your own reality. And you're slowly stepping forward with that. But you're still skittish because you don't want to be fooled again. You don't want to be taken advantage of again. So it's cautious. It's cautious optimism. It's like slowly walking out of a cave. The sun hits your face and you kind of squint your eyes. You're just you're just trying to get used to it. But you're fully capable of doing this. You're a shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. So as far as, aspects that you've blocked or hidden, I don't know, everybody's beliefs are different. Some people believe in extra dimensionals or extraterrestrials. Some people don't. So you could have been part of an extra dimensional race, species, or some human race, that was dominant over another. Maybe you meant well. Some of you might not have. Either way, power dynamics, ashamed of, and masculine. It's all about power dynamics, the roles that you've played, and the roles that have been placed upon you. You're coming to terms with what sovereignty and free will really is. What that really means. Whether it's benevolent or malevolent. Free will should be free will. There should be no interference. So, for some of you, this is you rejecting everything. This is even astrology. For those of you who believe in, things like starseeds and, like I say, extra dimensionals, disconnecting from all of that and only focusing on you. For others of you, you're integrating all the aspects of yourself. That includes those aspects that are at higher realms. Those overarching dimensions of yourself. But I think that you're only going to be able to align with all aspects of yourself once you allow that. If there's fear or hesitation on your part, I don't think that they will come through. That's for some of you. That's 21, so we have 3, 6, 9 here. That's for some of you. Some of you might not like the spotlight too. There's a lot about intelligence here. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you were connected to things like, sacred geometry, Atlantis, the Arcturians, Syrians. Let's see. Messages from the mermaid books. Koala. When koala climbs in as your spirit animal, move slowly and choose wisely. That's what we were talking about, being discerning and planning everything out. Koala bear as a totem animal, they're not bears. Koala as a totem animal belongs to those sweet souls who are masters of mindfulness. Call in koala as your power animal when you feel underestimated. Seahorse. When seahorse swims in as your spirit animal, new partnerships are on the way. Seahorse as a totem animal is for those souls who can see all sides of a situation. Call in seahorse as your power animal when you need safe guidance through rough emotional waters. So maybe that's what the feeling safe thing was there. Alright, you got a lot of these. A lot. Black Panther. When Black Panther appears as your spirit animal, it's time to remove the mask. Coming out of the cave. Black Panther as a totem animal belongs to those who live honestly and authentically. Like the Queen of Swords. Call in Black Panther as your power animal when you need the courage to stand alone. Like the Queen of Swords. Okay. Herbal medicine. Could be something significant. Nesting. External deception. No wonder you're having to be discerning. Unexpected visitor. Fame, recognition. Are you okay with that? Some of you I don't think would be. Physical health. Someone will give you a divine message. Could be an angel. Because I was getting archangels with over arc and 7. Reconciliation. Honor your inner knowing. So that is what I have for you. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Anything like that really does help to circulate and support the channel. I do hope to see you next time. Take care and God bless. Hey, for those of you who chose group 3, let's go ahead and dive in as mermaids do. If you skip the intro, I do suggest that you go back and watch it, but you don't have to. I mentioned that I shuffled on camera, and the timestamp for that will be in the description box. I say that because the cards that you received go hand in hand with the channeled messages. That's why I like to shuffle on camera, so you know that I didn't create the messages after getting the cards. So for this group, now I've seen this group a lot. It's in every reading. And I always say there's something more to it that I haven't quite put my finger on. And there's been some theories about it that have come about recently. I'll put a link in the description box to one of the most recent ones. I will say that as far as my gifts go, discernment is one of the most natural ones. Being able to see the truth or know the truth when you hear it. And being able to know, if something is a lie. So, I knew there was something more to this. And when I heard, this new theory, I didn't immediately get the reaction to, oh, this is false, like I've gotten with other things. So, it's not saying that it's for sure true. It's just saying that maybe it's something to look into. Some people believe that we agreed to experience this world in a duality, and that if we were here from the very beginning, this is more likely that we would have experienced these polarities, meaning you would have had lifetimes in the positive and the negative polarities, meaning you could have been a negative being, or this could be looked at as simply if you are more in, like, let's say the feminine energy, you would have also had lifetimes in the masculine energy, if you want to look at it that way. But there's definitely a separation here that comes up repeatedly, not only in your channel, but repeatedly in your cards. And I think that's fascinating. But I do see you becoming free from this separation somehow. The first thing I got for you was freedom and then music. So, again, I've been getting a lot with sound being significant. And we know that sound can even affect water molecules and things like that. And, some people believe that ancient civilizations had, advanced technologies in the form of using sound to move objects. And I don't immediately get a no for that either. I think sound is very powerful, and I think that it's sort of the universal language. So I think that's where the music comes in. I think that's how you connect to the universe. So here we have a union next. So I think that's where the freedom comes in, because you're able to connect with your inner divine feminine and masculine energies, and as well as your polar energies, your dark and your light energies. Coming together with that, if that's something you want to believe in. I don't tell people what to believe, of course. It's being able to see the possibilities of things. It's because we have magic next. It's being able to be the magician, and then we have legacy. I think that has a lot to do with coming together with all of your aspects, and that includes all of your past lives and all of the aspects of yourself in all the different, if you want to, I'm trying to, I don't know what people believe in, so I'm trying to word it to not to put anybody in a box and to go along with whatever, beliefs you have. Let's just say aligning with all the higher aspects of yourself, getting in alignment with that, and all of your past lives as well, and all your polar aspects, all of that coming together, basically. That's what I get with legacy. And then we have seeking and harnessing. I was drawn to the ing at the end of these. It was making me focus in on that intentionally to let me know that you were in the action phase of something, meaning that you were in the knights phase. So knights with a K, and tarot, the knights. You were in the action phase of this. And I don't know why, but I was getting horsemen with that as well. And then I was getting like the scales, the justice scales here. Also number 5 could be significant, and 5, that's going to symbolize change. So I was trying to get information on your past incarnations as well. What I was getting with that was a lot different than what I was getting from other groups. So I saw the yin-yang symbol and the infinity symbol. So again, it's showing the polarities and the looping sort of the ranges of things. I don't know, but how it comes together at this. It's like 2 separate things. Like there's 2, but it's 1 circle. And here it's 2, but they meet in the middle. So there's something with that. So again, that could be like the shadow here. That could be masculine and feminine. But there's something about 2 coming together, creating a third. Yeah. So like I say, you could have experienced a lot of, different incarnations where you were negative and positive. The dark and the light being the same thing. They're just opposite ends of the spectrum. You could have had incarnations where you were on the light side, meaning you were love and light, and you could have had incarnations where you were the absence of light, so you were in the fear or the darkness or the hate. And again, feminine or masculine, heart, mind. You could have experienced all of it, all the ranges here. I think maybe it's saying now is the time to come back into union with yourself, to integrate all these aspects. You're seeking all these aspects of yourself. You're harnessing all of it. listen, it's going to make sense for who it's supposed to make sense for. So get ready for the cards, and you'll see what I mean. So we see all this duality here, and look, we have the first house. So what people see in the impression you give. This is the house of the self. We have this mirror image here. Mirror image. Like parallel versions of self or something. And then Neptune. Your fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusions. The illusion is you think this is you, but it's not. You've been tricked into thinking this is who you really are, but you're just looking at one of the reflections, one of the aspects. And see, again, Gemini, twins, splitting. The energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative, stimulating exchanges possible. But again, I'm getting that split energy here. You know, and along with that, there are beliefs that if you came into union with your inner divine feminine and masculine energies, that would also happen externally too. That once you united your inner divine feminine and masculine energies, then you would have an external counterpart that you would come into union with. So your overall energy for the tarot, which I only pulled tarot for 2 groups, because I intuitively picked which cards to use for which group. So no group got the same deck. So again, your overall energy, the Hanged Man, this is a sort of another mirror energy. Again, that's Neptune. This is Neptune. This card represents Neptune. You have Neptune up here. Something significant with the Neptunian energy, which is illusion, fog. It's like the fog was you not seeing your full self, and he is hung upside down. Okay, it's like you're seeing, and I'm drawn to this. It's like, except I'm being shown it this way. It's like it's like a mirrored or parallel sort of upside down universe sort of thing. I don't know why I'm getting that, but anyway, this card represents Odin, who chose to hang himself upside down so he could get the wisdom of the runes. So he did this to get wisdom, basically. So it's being able to see beyond the veil. So what we have here, now this is very interesting. We have 9 of Wands, Death, and 6 of Swords. So I'll just show you the mirror here. Okay. So I don't know why, but I'm being led to Dante's Inferno here. And then I looked a little bit closer at this and was told he's not ascending, he's descending. So yeah, he's descending to the underworld here. And what happens in Dante's Inferno is once he descends to the underworld, he has, there's a, I don't know, how do you pronounce that? It's Charon.
Charon.
They're a ferryman of the dead. They are the ferryman of the boat on the river Styx that guides the souls of the dead. And that's what I was getting here. So it's like a psychopomp. The ferryman is a psychopomp. So you're a psychopomp. So the aspects you've hidden from yourself not only are the dual nature of yourself, the dark and the light, the masculine, the feminine, the mind and the heart, but also that you are great in liminal spaces. That means the in-between spaces. Liminal gods, we would think of Hermes was liminal, Hecate, like I say, psychopomps that would guide the souls also. The transitions between, like you're like a transition. You're like a bridge between the two. Jesus also was like this. And Jesus also conquered death, hell, and the grave. And death is about resurrection. So, I mean, you could, okay, this could be you also hiding you've blocked off your ability to see beyond the veil. You could have blocked off your ability, like I say, your other aspects of yourself. But for others of you, again, I'm getting, you've blocked off that you're a psychopomp. Or you're a liminal deity that has access to both realms, or any realm. You could help lead others with this gift through transition. Frogs could be significant. I think frogs also symbolize that as well. And for some of you, this is just going to be, you have yet to face your shadow. Dante went into the Inferno to overcome sin and things like that. So this could be, you have hidden the aspect of you that is Dante going to the Inferno to be guided by the ferryman, through the river Styx to all the levels of hell, to overcome sin. Maybe you haven't faced your shadow self or done your shadow work yet. So let's, that was a very interesting one. So let's get some mermaid messages from the mermaid box. Oh, no. Too many. Way too many. Okay. All right. Black Panther. When Black Panther appears as your spirit animal, it's time to remove the mask. Black Panther as a totem animal belongs to those who live honestly and authentically. Call in Black Panther as your power animal when you need the courage to stand alone. Are you Nuh-uh. Which one did I just put back? Did you get Black Cat and Black Cat and Black Panther? Where did I just put that? You got Black Cat and Black Panther. Jeez. Black Cat. That is weird. I don't think that's ever happened before. When Bastet or Bast could be significant. When Black Cat appears as your spirit animal, it's time to let your personal form of magic shine. And, black cats are related to magic. So is Goddess Isis also. Alright. And Isis also went to the underworld. So did Osiris. Hades, Persephone. Orpheus went down there for Eurydice. Okay. If a black cat is your totem animal, you believe life's risks are good medicine and worth taking. Invoke Black Cat as your power animal when you need to believe you are worthy. We'll do... is this blue? Yeah, we'll do these last. Alright. Chance encounter. Gonna have a chance encounter. Blockage cleared. Gonna have a blockage cleared. Notice who values and supports you as you are. Just as you are. Alright. 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we live by faith, not by sight. And Matthew 17:20, he replied. So this one's about faith as well. Some of you could be struggling with faith. Because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. So that is what I have for you. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Anything like that really does help to circulate and support the channel. I do hope to see you next time. Take care and God bless. Hey, for those of you who chose group 4, let's go ahead and dive in as mermaids do. So if you skipped the collective, you might want to go watch it. It has some good info in there where I mentioned that I did shuffle on camera, and the timestamps for that will be in the description box below. I say that because your cards did go along perfectly with the channel messages, just so you can see that I didn't write the messages after getting the cards. So, I'm doing this on my bed. Okay. So I kept hearing the song from Beauty and the Beast. The part where it says, maybe there's something there that wasn't there before. So you're creating something new. And then I got Pyramid, Oracle, Major Arcana, Treasure, First Steps, Beginner's Mind. I think those two go together. They could. You've waited for this. I was getting the feeling that you've waited for this moment for lifetimes. Eons, even. It's getting the number 11 could be significant. And that dreams could be significant. So, with all that being said, most of you are going to be ancient. Most of you will resonate with having past lives dating back to the beginning. In these past lives, you could have been an oracle. You could have been around pyramids. And there are pyramids all over the world, so I felt like saying that for some reason. Some of you may feel like you're on a treasure hunt right now. Some of you may be being called to just take the first steps or to look at things with fresh eyes, like having a beginner's mind, having an open mind to things, to sort of erase any preconceptions, preconceived notions about how you think things are, and to pay attention to your dreams. I don't know what major arcana could be significant. I didn't use tarot for this group. I chose the decks that I was going to use for each group intuitively. I didn't use the same decks for the groups. And I didn't use tarot for this group. So somehow that could be significant. Yeah, you could be going through major changes right now. That could be what that is. So with number 11, you could be balanced in your energies right now. That could be creating 1 and 1 makes a third. That could be creating something there that wasn't there before. Some of you will know what I'm talking about there. So I'll try to get energies for past lives specifically. So I got that you went out with a bang. That could be like a premature death. That could be an injustice. And that it was very ancient. And I think I'd mentioned that up here. So I got the same thing down here when I was channeling just for the past lives. Whatever happened, however you went out, it was heard about. And it wasn't perceived to be just. For whatever reason that would be. But it was from a very, very long time ago here. So your cards, we'll start here. We have Vesta, We have Garuda with travel. And Vesta is home. Okay, and then we have Lilith with equality. So what I was talking about with being balanced in your masculine and feminine, that's confirmed here with Lilith. And again here with male-female. So that definitely happened. You were definitely balanced in your masculine and feminine energies. You were integrated fully. It's interesting that we have home, but then travel. Maybe there was a forced exit here. Like out with a bang. Oops. I feel like similar happened to Lilith here. But, so a few days ago, I looked into Vesta because I saw something about how the word heart and earth are the same letters. They're just, the H is moved around. So I thought about, for some reason, Vesta popped into my head because she's the goddess of the hearth and home. So I thought about, okay, so heart, earth, hearth, that's adding another H. So then I was taken to Hebrew letters. What is the Hebrew letter H? What does that mean? And the Hebrew letter H is Hey, and that stands for basically the creation. That stands for the name of God that can't be named, basically. So again, telling me some of you could have not only been ancient, but some of you could be primordial. You could have been around since the creation. Some of you will know what I'm saying here. So, now some people believe, and I always say, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I offer up a lot of different theories here. And I suggest, you know, everyone just look within yourself to figure out what's right for you. I don't push anything on anybody. I just offer up different things here. Some people believe that we were originally balanced in our masculine and feminine energies, and then at some point something happened that separated our masculine and feminine energies. So that could have been what this is saying here, because we have imprisonment, slavery, phobias, and we have Native American here. So again, so you could have been Native, the first, and you were balanced, but then something happened that that caused that split, that imprisoned people, caused the fear, that could have pushed you out with a bang, or separated you with a bang. That seemed like an injustice or premature death. But if you don't want to go super esoteric about it, you can just look at it as you were an oracle, balanced in your masculine and feminine energies in an ancient time where there would have just been tribal energies, you know, very, very beginning of time, the beginning of civilizations, and you were imprisoned, maybe forced to travel away from your home, and that has caused phobias in you now, if you want to look at it that way. Now, like the one sentence I did read on Garuda was something about him going against the mother of the Nagas, which I think are the snake beings, because that mother and his mother were trying to marry, or were married to, or trying to get with the same man. And that's sort of like Lilith and Eve. So I wonder if there's something here with that, like two separate feminine energies. One was vilified and kicked out as a Lilith, and one was deemed pure virginal. One was demonized. I wonder if that has something here. Because Vesta was the virgin. Lilith didn't want to submit. So let's get some messages from the mermaid box. I think there's just some things to this one that I don't understand yet. That are not meant to be known by me yet. Alright. Grasshopper or cricket. When grasshopper jumps in as your spirit animal, good fortune is on the horizon. Grasshopper as a totem animal is for those who are confident speaking their truths. Call in grasshopper as a power animal when you need help developing your sixth sense. Okay. Otter. When otter swims up as your spirit animal, it's time to stop swimming against the current. Otter as a totem animal belongs to those who see life as a playground. Call in otter as your power animal when your family needs to unite. Are you coming home? So this is a Bible verse. We'll do that last. Okay. Deception, lie, cheat, steal. Yeah, I think that has been something you're starting to overcome, the deceptions that have been imposed upon you throughout lifetimes, I want to say. False person, internal, yeah. Easier than you think. Something's going to be a lot easier than you think. Soul recognition. Maybe this is your own soul. Because we had false person, internal. Maybe you're going to be waking up to who you really are. That was channeled recently in the community tab. Somebody waking up to who they really are. Okay. Alright. Blocked solar plexus. So, I'm not sure about chakras. I won't get into that. You could have a blockage in your personal power, in your action. Blast from the past. So you could be aligning with this past aspects of yourself. It could be coming home to you. It could be meeting this past aspect of yourself. Or, take it as you're meeting someone from your past. Different country. Okay. So yeah, this person or this past aspect of yourself could be from a different country. Gossip. Yeah. It could be false beliefs that could be part of, or programming, things like that could be part of the imprisonment, or false perceptions you had about yourself. That could be part of that, is what I'm trying to say. But, anyways, take it how it resonates. You'll understand. Bible verse. We have Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So that solar plexus, not having the willpower, don't worry about that. Because you will run and not grow weary. Walk and not be faint. Just take those first steps. So that is what I have for you. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Anything like that will help to circulate and support the channel. I do hope to see you next time. Take care and God bless.